Hello and welcome to the Swarsiri 5 YouTube channel. Today we're following Klaire's journey through Kitakami and the Blueberry Academy. Quick reminder on Klaire. She grew up in Johto hearing stories of an ancient land called Hiswai. She wished that she could one day visit there. Her family moves around a lot. Her dad, Norman, helps gym leaders upgrade their gyms and hopes to one day be a gym leader himself. Klaire became the most recent champion rank trainer in Paldea. Her family is going to move to Sinnoh at the end of the school year, so Klaire is making the most of the remaining year. She signed up for the Kitakami field trip and was accepted. Klaire met the caretaker and Miss Breyer in Kitakami before getting the assignment for the field trip. In order to pair up with Kyron, a local who went to Blueberry Academy in Unova, she had to defeat him in a battle. He had a 2 Pokemon team that wasn't much of a match for Klaire's team. The assignment was to visit all the signposts about the legend of the Loyal 3 and the Ogre. To Klaire's relief, the assignment was very straightforward and she felt she would be able to visit the Crystal Pool during the 2-week short-term exchange. The first 2 signs were found quickly and Klaire learned part of the legend. Kyron took Klaire to see the Ogre's den and challenged her to a battle. He wanted to impress the Ogre because he thought he was misunderstood like himself. Klaire took out his 3 Pokemon team easily. There was a festival that night called the Festival of Masks. Carmine and Kyron didn't have an extra mask for Klaire, but Carmine challenged her to a battle anyway. Klaire won handily, but as Carmine said, no mask was magically going to appear because she won. During the festival, Klaire met the Ogre from the legends. It got scared and dropped its mask, which broke. Carmine suggested they take the mask to her grandfather to get fixed. Klaire learned the true story of the Loyal 3 and Ogrepin. Kyron was right, Ogrepin wasn't the villain, the Loyal 3 were. Unfortunately, Carmine and her grandfather swore Klaire to secrecy, so she couldn't tell Kyron he was right. The next day Kyron went with Klaire to the final signpost and challenged her to a battle. He was starting to act a little strange. Probably the stress of Klaire continually wiping the floor with his team and Carmine keeping things from him. Klaire was itching to get to the Crystal Pool to check it out, but felt getting the mask fixed was more important. After talking to Carmine and her grandfather, however, they told her they needed something from the pool. Carmine and Klaire set off immediately. After fighting with a melodic, something happened to Sindhu. A strange portal opened up and, in order to stop Klaire from being pulled in, Sindhu jumped between Klaire and the portal, shoving her out of the way. As Sindhu fell through the portal, he degenerated down to a Cyndaquil. Carmine consoled Klaire by telling her how much Sindhu must have cared for her by responding that fast after fainting in battle. Klaire took a moment to compose herself, and during that time Carmine noticed the melodic had dropped a crystal, so nobody had to dive into the pool to get one. Kyron stole the repaired teal mask and went up to the shrine of the Loyal 3. Klaire, still upset from losing her starter, showed no mercy in the battle with Kyron, which pushed him over the edge. He punched the Loyal 3 shrine before returning Ogrepin's mask to Klaire. Through the power of the mask, however, the punch awoke the Loyal 3 from their eternal slumber. The 3 Pokemon went and took the masks from the display at the Kitakami Hall. Klaire followed them and learned they went up to assault Ogrepin again. Klaire took on the Loyal 3, saving Ogrepin. Kyron then challenged Klaire to a battle. Whoever won could challenge and capture Ogrepin. Klaire once again won and went on to battle and capture Ogrepin. And Teal Mask. A month later, Klaire has been in constant contact with Ms. Breyer about going into a deeper part of Area Zero. Klaire hoped to discover some way to bring Sindhu back. Ms. Breyer's info of a hidden treasure of Area Zero intrigued Klaire. Originally they weren't intending Klaire to go to Blueberry Academy, but Carmine suggested Klaire for the medium-term exchange program. Once Klaire arrived at the academy, she discovered that the battle style was double battles. Unfortunately, Klaire's team was built exclusively for single battles. This problem would plague Klaire throughout her stay at Blueberry Academy. Carmine invited Klaire to the center of the Blueberry Biodome. She informed Klaire that Kiren had gone power hungry since they had met in Kitakami. He now cherished power above all else and had become the champion of the League Club. Drayton suggested that the best way to help Kiren out of this new personality is to show him that he is not stronger than Klaire, even after all of his training. Klaire agreed and set out to challenge the Blueberry League. In order to not use a legendary against the whole league, Klaire caught and evolved a Numel. She also caught a Graveler for a class assignment. Crispin went down after a few tries due to issues pertaining to double battles. Maurice went down also after a few tries due to double battle issues. Klaire considered building an entire new team but opted to continue using her dear friends after training them up a lot. Lacey was next. This time Klaire won against her on the first try thanks to training and the use of items. Drayton was the last Elite Four member that Klaire took on. In order to challenge him she had to use Pokemon caught in the terrarium against 3 trainers. The Camerupt and Graveler came in handy for this trial. Thankfully Klaire was allowed to fight Drayton with her full team. With the use of Scarlet's Dazzling Gleam, Klaire defeated Drayton deftly. Klaire struggled with the champion battle against Kiren, but ultimately defeated him. This caused Kiren to fall into a slump as he realized that his striving for power drove away all his friends and even his sister. Klaire tried to console him, but he refused to talk to her. This prompted Klaire to ask Ms. Briar to include Kiren and Carmine in their trip to Area Zero. Ms. Briar agreed and also invited Drayton, the strongest of the Elite Four, but he refused. Kiha confronted Klaire about entering Area Zero without permission previously, but her and Rika agreed that if she hadn't then Paldea would have been overrun by Pokemon. Reluctantly, Kiha gave Klaire a disc that would allow the research party to enter the hidden depths of Area Zero. Once in Area Zero the research party took the elevator down to a hidden exit below the time machine. While down there they encountered a new type of terastallization, Stellar Terra. Klaire was tasked with defeating enough of the Pokemon with this new terastallization to open up a path deeper into Area Zero. At the end of the path they discovered a different type of crystal wished into a giant terastal crystal. Kiren pulled the crystal free, it turned into a Pokemon, and then he caught it in a Master Ball. Before Klaire could explain what she hoped Terrapagos could do for her, Kiren forced her into a battle. During the battle Kiren lost control of Terrapagos, who destroyed its Pokeball, and Klaire had to take it down. During the fight Kiren finally came to terms with what he'd become and chose to lay the search for power aside. He helps Klaire defeat Terrapagos and insists that she catch it instead of him. After some testing with Ms. Briar, Klaire and her come to the conclusion that Terrapagos is unable to send anything living through time. Disappointed, Klaire prepared for her move to Sinnoh. Thanks for watching. Watch out for part 3 of this story in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and have a great rest of your day.